The reason why the only time you saw like 60 minutes is if I want to explain something. So the rest of the time will be 3 minutes, so you'll have to bear with me when it comes to like my opinion stuff. So keep in mind this is just my opinion, and some of these heroes I don't play a lot, and some of these I do play a lot. So when you hear me say I don't play a lot of this, it's because simply I don't play a lot of that character. When I mentioned without saying I don't play a lot, that's when you know I play that character a lot at some point, or at least a lot with the perks. For Doomfist, I can confidently say that the worst one would be the Aftershock, in my opinion. Obviously, and maybe in the higher ranks it's useful, but I think in the lower ranks it's pretty useless because half the time I run to flankers, and the other half the time I run to those who are split up. Half the time. The only time they would group up together is like if it's like a bowl of mashed potatoes or like a cheese ball, basically. I think the best one, in my opinion, a lot of people might underestimate this perk, but this is just my opinion. Survival of the Fizz is probably the best one because I use that often, very often. I sometimes use the 1-2, but I don't usually use it a lot. If I be honest, I don't usually use it unless I need to go more of a risk play. Otherwise, I usually just go with survival of the fittest. So let me get to the next one. So I'm going to pause right here. I sometimes play Hazard, but lately I have not. But one thing I can guarantee the best one is Deep Leap, because it's very good and it's very consistent, while the Zeal is a extremely rare occurrence, so I would say it's the worst one. The Zeal one, because you're not going to be likely doing a lot of hits unless you run into an issue like Malga. Then maybe that's kind of useful, but other than that, I don't really see the perk being useful that often. When it comes to Junker Queen, I think the best one is Savage Satination. While the worst one would just be Willy Willy, because mine I don't usually aim with the knife. Like, if often I don't end up landing on the enemies I land on. So, major ones are good and bad on this one. So.